And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Dyson Sphere program. Alright, I've added some more ray receivers. I've got 20 more of them on here, because we are producing almost 20 gigawatts of power with this baby. A lot of power. And yeah, we are well on our way. One of the things I did, I ramped up, because we had so many photons coming in. I ramped up photon production here. I've wrapped it around and fed in excess hydrogen in here, because this was really slowing down our photon production. So I'm pushing hydrogen here, and then I'm pulling it back out, you know, for reasons. Because this was almost full. This had been filling up, and it was, you know, 9,500 or something like that. And so I really needed a place to use those. So what I did with all that antimatter we're producing is I ramped up the antimatter fuel cell production. This is a massive amount. I mean, we had one here. It was actually back in here. So we had one of these, and now we've got many more. I don't even know. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 22 of them. 23. We have 23 of them now, and producing massive amounts of the antimatter fuel rod. And this is where that hydrogen is going. I basically wrapped it around here, so it prioritizes the hydrogen coming out of that system in order to make these. And then I'm taking these and I'm shoving them into this and saying, hey, this with artificial stars and antimatter fuel rods, we could easily go to another planet, drop down a couple of these babies, and be well on our way to mega amounts of power. I also had to ramp up whatever these things are called. Annihilation constraint spheres. Nice. Ramped up this production as well, just sort of to offset the amount that we're using over here. These don't use it very fast, but I also am shoving those into here in case we need to craft things and stuff elsewhere. But mainly, you know, I wanted to record another episode here, mainly because of I want to give time for people to post comments and see if there's any interest in starting fresh on a new universe, a new star cluster, and, you know, doing an Uber production series. If there is not enough, you know, if I don't get, you know, likes or comments or anything like that, if there's no interest in it, then we'll move on to a different game. There are several games on the list, one of which is a revisit of an old game that we covered a couple of years ago called Factory Town, which has had an enormous number of updates, and lots have changed on that game. So I'd like to see what's going on there. You know, there are a few other games here and there that we could cover, certainly. But yeah, I wanted to give enough time for all the things and the stuff to let's see. This might be a good spot to actually push those in. A lot of things I'd like to do differently in this playthrough. I'd like to have a mall of sorts, and, you know, craft a centrally located area for all of these things, all of these advanced things, all of the basic things. Like, just have automation in a mall, and then feed logistics with all the things, and so I can just request via logistics on whatever planet I'm on. I can request, say, these things. I can just say, hey, I want a bunch of these, and be able to basically not have so much junk in my inventory. Like, some of this stuff is okay, but it would be nice to have lots and lots of ability to go to another planet, pop down some logistics, some power, and be on our way to make a factory. That would allow me you know, to expand a lot faster. Now that I know and have some really good things here. This design for the electromagnetic coils turbines is really good. It's, you know, it's pretty much even all the way down, and then these things obviously are pretty straightforward as well. So yeah, lots of potential for expansion, lots of potential for Uberizing the production. Although one issue we may run into is the file size. If I go to save game, you can see the file size, 142 megabytes of space is taken up by just this save alone. Now, if we go Uberized and we have many planets producing, you know, raw materials and subsequent materials, then that file size would quickly balloon to be pretty intense. I don't need so many solar panels on me. I don't know why I grabbed so many, but whatever. It is what it is. Fun times. So yeah, anybody have any interest in that or something new? There are a few games that I have not covered yet that I would like to. And so, you know, leave a comment whether say it's a go for Uber production or, you know, something new, or, you know, revisit Factory Town. It's up to you to sort of guide me in what you're interested in. Interesting that this iron is basically out in here. That's kind of crazy. I'm gonna grab all the iron and then reset. No longer need iron in there. All right, so one last view of our Dyson sphere here. We've got a massive amount. Let's hit N here. You can see it's just a constant stream of solar sails. I could have probably started launching these, you know, after I started launching the frames and had a decent number of frames going. I could have probably started launching these and had these much further along. But, you know, the first playthrough, first Dyson Sphere, you know, it was a lot of lessons learned, and I'm glad we were able to do it, because the game is pretty nice, and the new update has made it even better, much better in terms of build, you know, scaling the build. Just being able to click and drag, you know, all of the little quality of life things really help the game, and it allows us to build up these systems a lot faster, and I'm glad for it. Made it much better. So without further ado, I think that is gonna do it for this series. You know, I had a lot of fun and read every comment and really enjoyed building a multi-star system game and factory. And there's enormous numbers of stars available. I mean, you could really go crazy. And this was a medium size. Like, this wasn't even really the most number of stars that you can really get, especially when you mod it. Like, there's things that you can do with mods that are pretty crazy, like a 255 star system. Although I would imagine those game saves would be pretty intense. I mean, if we did a Dyson Sphere around every one of these stars, I mean, our game save would be over a gigabyte. And who knows how long the autosaves would take. So it's kind of a law of diminishing returns when it comes to Uber production series. It's very hard to sort of strike a balance between just raw amounts of production and, you know, efficiency and saves and stuff like that. It can be challenging, but we certainly could ramp up production. And man, I could not imagine building a Dyson Sphere on that O-type star Like, that thing is crazy. Yeah, right here, O-type star. I don't know if there's any other ones like that. Really bright blue. This, no, that's a B. Yeah, I think there's only one in this whole system. But yeah, luminosity 2.4 is better than what we have. We are at 1.6 on this, so that would be a 0.8, almost a whole factor better on our Dyson Sphere. And imagine how many photons we could generate from that. Ooh-wee. That would be pretty crazy. So yeah, I appreciate everybody stopping by, and look forward to your comments and suggestions and what all is wanted. And yeah, that'll do it for this series. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed the series. Comment down below, as I said, to guide what comes next. And yeah, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I will see you next time.